I had a very old and large flower pot, so I started with some Rust-Oleum spray paint in the color cement, and I spray painted the outside of the entire flower pot as well as the upper lip and a little bit into the inside edge of the flower pot. There was a little ledge on the outside, and I decided to add a gingham ribbon. Now these flower pots are really large, and it takes a lot of soil sometimes to fill these up. Use pine cones. This will allow for drainage and they will decompose over time. Use straw or hay inside the flower pot to fill it partway up. It allows for great drainage. You can use old paper, whether it's recycled paper, old phone books, or magazines. Add some rocks or some bricks to the bottom half of a flower pot. Another option is to grab some pool noodles. Cut the pool noodles into small sections. Place all of these sections into the flower pot, and it takes a little bit of arranging to get them into the flower pot the way you want them to look. You could stop here, or I'm going to add a pizza pan to the top of the pool noodles. The water will be able to drain around the outside edge. I add some soil to the top of the pizza pan, and then it's time to plant my flowers. Once I get everything planted into the flower pot, it's ready to be displayed all summer long.
Hosta are great plants. They're so easy to grow and divide if you want more. Most of them are deer, rabbit, and disease resistant. I have a lot of hosta at my house, all different varieties for sun and shade. I think the biggest question everybody has about hosta is which variety should be planted in the sun and which varieties are for the shade. The answer is the lighter the foliage, the brighter the sun. So you would plant golden or chartreuse hosta in full sun. The variegated leaved variety would go in sun or shade, and the blue-leafed variety are for full shade. The most popular variety that you see are the variegated, such as Minuteman or Liberty. These can be planted anywhere and will thrive. The soil for hostas should be slightly acidic and have good drainage. But with a little care, they will mature in 4 to 8 years, and some will grow into massive plants. The best time to divide a hosta is in the spring before the leaves unfurl, but you can really divide them in any season as long as it's not really hot outside. To begin, place your shovel at the base of the plant and dig down about 5 inches. You want to dig around the entire perimeter of the plant, then lift it out of the garden. Hosta have very shallow roots, so it's very easy to dig. To divide the hosta, you lay it on its side and then place a garden spade in the middle of the root ball. A garden spade is different than a regular shovel. A garden spade has a flat bottom. Now you want to press down firmly on the spade with your foot and split the hosta. You can continue to split the hosta as many times as you like. You just need to make sure that each new plant has roots attached. Now you need to plant your new little hosta plants. You want to dig a hole a little larger than the actual plant. Hold the leaves up and fill the hole with soil. You want to remove any leaves that have broken off and water well. Recut the ends of any leaves that you removed and arrange them in a vase, just as you would with flowers. This display will last for weeks.
I decided that I really didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on this project, so I used whatever things I had around the house already. And then to keep the soil from coming out of the sides, we used some landscape fabric and some of those pieces of wood to hold the fabric in place. And I used some old 4x4s left over from an old playset to make planter boxes. So we salvaged what we could from the old garden and pressure washed the bricks and the patio stones. And I reclaimed the sand and pebbles from the old garden to level out the walking space between the boxes. Then I added more of the reclaimed soil from the old garden, planted some seeds, planted some pretty flowers because you want your garden to look pretty. And of course, you want to be able to eat out of your garden. So I added some herbs as well as some tomatoes and some peppers, cucumbers, and a few other things. Now, I'm no master gardener, but I have learned a few things over the years. Eggshells, for instance, can add calcium back into your soil, which is particularly good for tomatoes. Just crunch up the shells and sow them into your soil. Another way to add additional nutrients back into your soil is ashes from wood-burning logs. Now, this will also raise the pH of your soil, so you wouldn't want to put it around acid-loving plants like azaleas and blueberries and strawberries, but it's really great for tomatoes and a lot of the other plants in your garden, as well as the hardwood trees in your yard. It's been a few weeks and the garden is starting to really look beautiful.